So the first thing I want to do before I start the souffle is get the dish ready. What I'm going to do is I'm going to butter and use Parmesan cheese as the barrier that'll let the souffle come out really smoothly. And I'm using Parmigiano-Reggiano, and you can tell because the rind says so. So first, I'm going to cube it up. Perfect. I'm just going to use part of it, and let's process. This is going to get a little loud. You want it to look like little pieces of sand or breadcrumbs. So that's kind of what we're looking for. So I'm going to take this out and set it in a bowl, and then we'll get the dish ready. So we have our cheese processed, and we'll set that aside for a minute, okay? I'm going to take this butter, and I'm going to grease the souffle dish really well, because we want to make sure that the souffle comes out. Doesn't make any sense to have a souffle and not be able to get it out of the pot. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to take the Parmesan cheese, sprinkle it into the bowl, and we're just going to sift it all around the bowl so it coats the bowl nicely. Shake out all the excess, and now your bowl is ready. Okay? And we're going to set that aside right over here until we're ready for it. Okay, so the butter's melted, and we're going to add the flour to the butter and make a roux. I have 3 tablespoons of melted butter, 3 tablespoons of flour. We're just going to cook that raw flour taste out. I'm going to turn it down to medium-low, and we're just going to cook that out a little bit. So a while back I made some crab rangoons, and they were so good I made it into a dip. And I thought, why not just change that and make it into a souffle? So that's where the inspiration for this dish came from. Now if you see the tiny little bubbles coming up around the outer rim of the milk, means it's almost close to the scalding point. We're almost there. We don't want to boil the milk, we just want it nice and hot. Alright, so we're going to add this back on the heat, get this stirred up, and we're going to add the milk right to it and make a nice roux, a white sauce. So here we go. Pour it right in here and continue whisking. And in a minute you'll see this start to thicken. And keep stirring. Can you see that? Let me show you. We'll take this. If you can draw a line and it stays separated, that's what you want. So we're going to take that directly off the heat. Again. Now, I'm going to add some flavoring to this. Just a kiss of fresh nutmeg. Anytime I make a white sauce, I use just a little nutmeg. Not much, just a little in the background. So we're going to scrape just a little in there, just like that. That's it. All right, so now that we have the roux made, we're going to add some seasoning. I'm going to have a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, and half a teaspoon of cayenne for some heat. If you don't like it, you could always leave this part out. Just for some flavorings. Okay, so what I'm doing here is separating the whites and the yolks. I need 4 yolks and 5 egg whites, all at room temperature. It's 2, 3. When they're at room temperature, they tend to fall apart a little bit, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 yolks and 1 white. Perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is add the egg yolks very slowly into the roux mixture on very low heat, and just until they combine really well. As you can see, it's starting to smooth out. So let me get a spatula, get all this out. Good. And we're just going to stir that through so the egg yolks combine. And as you can see, we're not scrambling the eggs. We just want the egg yolks combined in there. So everything is mixed really well. All right? Turning the heat off. Okay, so the other thing I want to make sure that's really important is we want to dry the crab meat. The crab meat, when it comes in its package, has a lot of moisture in it. And we want to get all that moisture out because it will not allow the souffle to rise properly. Also, I went through it, picked through for any shells that might have been missed in the packaging. So now we have it nice and dry. I'm just going to transfer it to a bowl. So now that we have the egg yolks mixed in to the roux mixture, the white cream sauce, we're going to add 4 ounces of room temperature cream cheese. We're going to break that up. And if there's a little bit of lumps of cream cheese, that's fine. Because you get that when you have crab ragoons, you get pieces of cream cheese. It doesn't have to be completely mixed through where you can't see it. A little bit of lumps of the cream cheese is just fine. You just want to get the bigger pieces broke up. Okay, so that looks good. So we've got little bits of cream cheese running through. Now we're going to add our crab meat. And we're going to fold that in. And when I say fold, just toss it lightly through, just like that, so as not to break up the crab too much. At this point, we're going to chop up the chives. We need a little color, a little fresh herbs in here. So we're going to add, I don't know, a couple of tablespoons, I guess. These I grow in my backyard. These are garlic onion chives. So you get a little bit of garlic, a little bit of onion, and the green color is beautiful in here. And we're just going to fold that through. It's looking pretty good so far. Okay, we're going to set this aside now, and we're going to work on the egg white. What we're going to do is the egg white mixture to the souffle. You want to make sure your bowl is clean and dry. We're going to add all the egg whites to this bowl and a pinch of salt. So I'm going to start beating the eggs on low. Turn them up a little bit, beating some air into it. Now this takes a couple of minutes. You can see they're starting to get frothy. They're at the frothy stage now. When they get to this point, I turn it off, and I'm going to add half a teaspoon of cream of tartar. Cream of tartar stabilizes the egg whites, keeps them in position. We're almost to the soft pink stage, and I'll show you what that's like in just a minute. See how light and fluffy? This is what's going to make the souffle nice and airy and poof up in the oven. I don't know, maybe 1, 2, 3 minutes. Just beating them. We want to get as much air as we can into the souffle. Yeah, I'd say that's what we're looking for. Okay. So let's take this. Okay, so at this stage, we have our crab, cream cheese, and chive mixture with the egg yolks and the roux that we made with the hot milk. We're going to add a quarter of this. Just a little bit. You see how light they are? Just a little bit. And we're going to stir it in. What I'm doing here is lightening it up just a little. Just want to get that crab not to be so heavy. And you see, I'm taking the spatula and folding it into the center. That's called folding. And I just keep turning. As you can see, they're so light and airy. That's what's going to make the souffle poof up. Now this is the most important part. Is we just want to fold it in nice and gently. We don't want to deflate the eggs, or the egg whites I should say. You see how it's already resin in volume? And I can even feel it's even lighter than it was before. Alright. Now, we're going to pour our mixture into our bowl that we have ready. Let's see if I can do this without making a mess. Just up to the top. I think we measured this out pretty good. Okay. Now I'm going to use a sheet pan, just for cautionary reasons. Place that on there. And we're going to put it in a 400-degree oven for about 30 minutes. The other thing is, with any type of baking, everybody's oven may run a little different. My oven is kind of old. So I bought one of these. It's an oven thermometer. This will allow you to know if the temperature is exactly at 350 degrees. The last step before it goes in the oven is just smooth the top out. Okay, just like that. We've got the oven set at 400, but right before we put it in, we're going to turn it down to 375. Bingo. And this is going to bake for about 30 to 35 minutes. So let's say it's 440. In about 30 minutes, we're going to check. Here we go. Okay, so we're about halfway through the cooking process right about now. The one thing you do not want to do is touch the oven door. Do not open it. If you have a light on your stove, you can look through it if you get a little excited. Don't touch it. We're about halfway through the cooking process. And if you look down here, you can see we're starting to get some rise in there. It's looking all poofy and pretty so far. And in about another 10, 12 minutes, we'll take her out and see where we're at. Actually, we're only going to need one thing from the pantry. We're going to use some agave nectar. It's a natural sweetener, so that with the tartness of the lemon, this will balance it out a little bit. So let's get started on the vinaigrette. Okay, so we're going to make a really simple vinaigrette. We're going to start with about a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Dijon mustard has a little wine in it, so it gives it a little tang. It's really good. We're going to add a pinch of pepper, a pinch of salt, well, a good amount of salt actually, and we're going to add the juice of a lemon. Now, what I like to do is I like to roll the lemon out so that you can get as much juice as you can out of the lemon. Let me show you what I mean. Just like this. Then we're going to cut the lemon open. I'm just going to cut my hand over here to catch the seeds and squeeze as much juice as I can out of each half. First, I'm going to whisk these two items together. Get everything smooth and creamy. We're going to add a shot of agave nectar. Now, this is my extra virgin olive oil. This is when you want to use really good olive oil because it's in your dressing. You're not cooking with it. So you want some fruity olive oil. We're going to just slowly drizzle it in. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to pour the vinaigrette in here. You could actually just mix the whole dressing in one of these jars instead of a bowl. Probably a lot easier. And shake it. And as you can see, it mixes it way better than just whisking it in the bowl. Plus you give your arms a little exercise. All right, let's give it a taste. Perfect. So I have some mixed greens here in a bowl. Arugula, some baby kale, baby spinach, just different kinds of greens. We've already made the vinaigrette. But what I like to do is just take a vegetable peeler and take that reserved Parmesan cheese and just put some shards of Parmesan cheese on top of the salad. This should tie in the whole dish together. And then we'll just dress it right before we serve it. So how about we plate this up? Okay, so it says between 30 to 35. We're at 32 minutes. We're going to go ahead and pull this baby. We're going to turn the heat off. Gently open the oven, and I think she looks gorgeous. Let's have a look. I would say that is absolutely perfect. It smells incredible in here. It smells just like a crab rangoon. You can smell the crab, the cream cheese, the custard mixture. It is just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. All right, this is the big moment. We're going to try and get this out of the pan. That's what you're looking for. You want it to be light and fluffy like that. That's exactly what we're looking for. I'm just serving this with a simple green salad because this is the star. Perfect. Does that not look delicious? Okay, so that's our crab and cream cheese Rangoon souffle with a mixed green salad with a lemon vinaigrette. So for all the complete details for this recipe, just go to Let's Dish with Linda Lou at lindalouhamel.com.